hell, this job is for Marvin. He's got to train you to the street.
You're right, mate. We're overqualified for this pitiful assignment. I don't see why we need that bloody simulacrum giving us orders.
She doesn't care about the Iron Sea or the frontier. Blisk's mercenaries only care about money.
And what do you care about?
Killing. Watch yourself, we're gonna run.
In this video, I'm gonna talk about Titanfall 2. I have no idea why I purchased a game published by EA. That company buys up development studios, guts them down to their skeletons, and shuts them down at the first sign of weakness. That company signed exclusivity contracts with sports leagues to put out the same dogshit game every year without any fear of competition. That company demanded its employees work 80-hour weeks in order to finish games on time, and it has factored this practice into its culture such that it is not the exception, but the norm. And here I am, with this game in my hands, rewarding all these practices. I know why I purchased this game. Because the explosions were pretty. Because there were big guns to shoot. I had a moment of weakness, and the trailer struck me directly in the testosterone. After spectacularly failing to pray to the oracles of post-nut clarity, here I am, with this game in my hands, rewarding all of these practices. Forgive me, God, for I have sinned. The wrath of God did not take long to smite me. I had to install Origin, because of course you need to have Origin to play this game. I need a second Steam to play a game that I bought on Steam. I wonder if there is a way to play a game on Steam that activates Origin, which activates Ubisoft Connect, which activates Steam right back again. I bet somebody came at the mention of that. Find this person and report them to their parole officer. They are definitely a repeat sex offender and they will keep on offending for the rest of their life. Mind you, by the time I had written these paragraphs of my script, I had not even begun a new game just yet. I was sitting here, reevaluating my decisions, and blaming myself for all the worries of the world. It was only after a moment that I found the energy to press forward. Your name is Jack. Your last name does not matter. Your last name gets repeated over and over again, but just like in Need for Speed Pro Street, your name is completely unmemorable. You are a young alpha male in the prime of your life, and your voice actor is Matt Mercer. What more could you ask for? It is typical and trusty first-person shooter design. Not even a Toyota Corolla can hope to have as much consistent regularity. Your weapons consist of this thing, and that other thing, and the other funny one that shoots red balls, and I think there are maybe 2 shotguns and 2 or 3 sniper rifles, except one of them sucks beach balls through drinking straw, but I can never remember the name of it. I think one of the guns is called Star, and I remember it only because I played Resident Evil 3. It is complicated. Because you can only carry 2 guns at the same time, the enemies will play exactly on that, and starve you of ammo for 1 gun, so that you work up the reflex to pick up something that one of your most recent victims has left behind. The idea is experimentation, and it works to some degree, except I can never hold on to the gun long enough to call it Charlene. To fix that problem, we have BT, an anime character in the shape of the exosuit Dr. Eggman wishes he could have invented. BT is capable of everything except fitting in small spaces, and therefore it will be up to you to explore anything that is not made of the great and glorious outdoors. BT will also helpfully become locked into a stalemate against enemy titans, so that you can hop in and enjoy the ancestral activity of finishing the job yourself. It makes it sound like going inside your titan is what you want to do at all times, but it is perfectly viable to go on foot while your oversized companion provides all manners of fire support. If you are on your own, you can do double jumps, wall slides, cloaking maneuvers, and cower in a corner to regenerate health. If you are inside your Titan, you become a lumbering menace that strafes in and out of cover to pick off the opposition from afar, because going up close and personal is an incredibly fun and incredibly stupid idea. Depending on the footage I have chosen to display, things may look like a simple everyday shooter with a big machine thrown into the mix. The reality is that the environment frequently changes, ranging from nature to a small city, an underground complex, a factory, a cliffside. As long as your favorite color is brown, you will have enough variety to not feel like you are playing through the same level 9 times, and your 6-hour campaign will feel like it took 8 hours. By the way, this game is multiplayer first. The single player is the afterthought, not the opposite. As of September, in the year of our Lord 2022, there are still a few players hanging around, and there are enough of them to get the matchmaker satisfied in under a minute, which is incredibly impressive considering the game is 6 years old. There is a good reason for it though. The multiplayer portion is intense as all get out. The pace is fast, the front line of battle is well defined without being impossible to traverse, and it appears that updates to the game have opened up the equipment list so that a newbie no longer needs to grind to unlock their weapons. This means that you can prepare a loadout to your liking with very few restrictions. The big difference is that the Titan is a performance reward obtained in battle, and the tempo of the fight alternates between pilot heavy and Titan heavy phases. I am not sure if every loadout combination is viable, but I chose my equipment based on what I was most comfortable with, and I like to believe that I did fine enough for a multiplayer greenhorn. My friends were not kidding when they said that multiplayer was the star of the whole show. The experience is an adrenaline rush in which every player has a good amount of power at their disposal, whether they are alone or accompanied by their teammates. It comes down to the classic problem of the developer being marred by the publisher, which is nothing new but is also never pleasant. I have no idea what is happening with the developers' working conditions now, but this is the video game industry, and it has always cultivated the reputation of a meat grinder that will happily pulverize bushy-tailed college graduates down into fine powder. Considering EA's track record, I have no reason to believe this here is any different, which leaves me with a blood diamond on my hands. I am only one person who encouraged them, but the question is, how many more do so? How many more do it out of ignorance? How many more do it because they have no other choice? Because it is not interesting to play football unless it is as their favorite team. Because it is not interesting to make a play unless they make it as Tom Brady himself. How often does it happen in other studios? I do not have the answer to these questions. All I can do is vote with my wallet and hope that I made the right decision most of the time. These decisions are not always rational. They are made on the spot, and some form of regret comes to me while I consume a product that has been made under less than average ethical conditions. In short, this game is the jar of Nesquik right next to the cash register.
Gossip, Morton, Sawa.